Hey techies, today we're going to be looking at HTML, history, purpose, the analogy, and the setup. Now we're going to be looking at the history of HTML all the way from 1989 till now. So we're just going to start with an in-depth insight into the brief history of HTML. It was basically a proposal for the first hypertext system by Tim Berners-Lee. He was proposing a new way for researchers at CERN, which is called Conseil Européen pour la Recherche Nucléaire, right? That's basically in English language, European Organization for Nuclear Research, right? So it's one of the world's largest scientific research centers, known for physics, experiments, and all of that. So Tim Berners-Lee was working there as a software engineer, and the idea for the World Wide Web came from his desire to help scientists access documents quickly. So his proposal introduced hypertext documents, a method to link documents together, right? And he had early ideas for what will become the URLs, the HTTP, and the HTML, which we're going to go into shortly. So this was the birth of the web and not just HTML. And in 1991 rather, the first HTML specifications came out. There was only 18 tags, right? So HTML was was extremely simple at the beginning, right? And the first version included just 18 elements. We had the P tags for paragraphs, the H1 tags for headings, the A tag or anchor tags for links, the IMG or image tag for images, the UL tags, and the LI tags for lists, right? So there was no styling at all, with no colors, no layout control, no multimedia. Everything was text focused, and HTML's main purpose was sharing documents, not designing modern websites. In 1995, HTML 2.0 becomes the first official standard, right? The Internet Engineering Task Force, IETF, standardized HTML 2.0, right? So key improvements included, adding the form tags, the input tags, the text area tags, and the tables tags, right? For basic structure, and it gave it better linking and more image support. So this was very important because website creators finally had a stable official rulebook. Before this, everyone was just using drafts and experimentation. So this was much of an improvement for it. In 1997, we had the HTML 4.0. Was a massive upgrade. It was revolutionary in change, and this version introduced major concepts that we see today. It introduced CSS support, right? So before CSS, designers used tables to control the layout, which is very inefficient and messy. So it had a better structure. We began to see divs, right? Div tags became widely used, improved form tags, scripting support. So we could now include JavaScript into our HTML to make our pages more interactive, than they were. So HTML was becoming more than a document sharing format. It became a web design language. And in 2008, HTML5 draft introduced. This is when the modern web began to truly blossom. So we had tags like audio tag, video tag, canvas tag for drawing graphics and animations. Before HTML5, you needed the Flash, Java applets, or the plugins for media and animation. So we had new semantic elements. We had the header, we had the footer, the nav, the section, article. This improved accessibility and SEO and structure. In 2014, HTML officially was finalized by W3C, and it became the official standard on the W3C. What changed after the finalization? It was a more stable HTML specification with clearer rules for browsers, compatibility with mobile devices, support for offline applications. We have the application cache later replaced with service workers, and the finalization began the beginning of the progressive web apps. Just going to do a quick recap of what we did, why HTML was created, and it was created to solve a problem, and it's all right here. The next one on the list is HTML analogy. How can we describe it? The HTML is like the skeletal structure of the house, right? Of the chassis of the house, right? The CSS is for the design of the house. The JavaScript is for the functionality of the house. Do you understand? The next thing is, how do we set up HTML in VS Code, a code editor? So the first things first, we're going to download, install VS Code. We're going to create our project folder. If you go to VS Code, you're going to see the file section. You open folder and you create a new folder called My Website, and this becomes your workspace. You launch with Live Server. It's actually an extension that you could find, and you download it. Right, so in the next section, we're going to be teaching you how to identify Live Server. It has a pop-up icon, you can easily identify it. And then after installing it, you're going to create your first HTML code, right? You're just going to type shift and your exclamation mark is going to give you your boilerplate, and you could start coding and see the changes implemented live. Now we're going to be looking at what exactly is an HTML boilerplate, like we discussed. The boilerplate is a pre-written template of HTML code. Like we said before, it's so easy to get. Create your HTML file and you just type exclamation mark and shift. And this is what you're going to see as your boilerplate. So I would like you to pause this video a bit and just see the meanings of all these tags that you just used in your HTML code. And this is also a cheat sheet to show you what we've done so far. So it's the entire outline, and then we'll be moving to the essential HTML tags, which you really need to know. The first on the list is going to be the doc type. Declares the document as HTML. It's really important. We've got the body tag. All visible content in your page is going to be here. And you've got your H1 to H6, it's for headings. H1 is actually the largest, heading tag. We've got the P tag for paragraph text, Now we've got the anchor tag, which is the hyperlink to another page, another section. We have the image source tag that embeds an image into the page. If you want to embed it, you just use the image source tag, and it's going to fetch it from whichever folder it's in, and just going to render it. We also got the div tag, a generic container for block elements. Then we've got the span tag, the unordered list tag, and the form tag. And if we put this all together, this is what we're going to get. It's all right here on the screen. Now we're going to go into HTML5, a deep dive guide, just to go over what we've done. And it's basically hypertext markup language, uses tags. We've got the hierarchy of H1 elements up to H6. And we've got the types of lists, unordered list, ordered list, and the list items. We've got the anchor tag, which links us to wherever we want to go. And we've got, the table, the rows, the table headers. We also got the page for the page structure. That's all the tags you need to know for it. We've got the block elements, div, H1s, P tags, inline elements also. And your first HTML elements project, we're going to be looking at it today. First things first, download VS Code as we discussed earlier, and you're going to install it. There's a guideline on how to install VS Code. Install Live Server for you to see your changes quickly, and this is what it looks like. So it's just a video to show you what it looks like, and install it. It's an extension, and yeah, this is what you're supposed to do with the information that you have.